What's up, boys and girls? Happy Friday. Happy first of the month, July 1st here. Yeah, we got some news right as we hit the go live button. Chris Bassett scratched, which I do believe I have him in season long, and it's been a rough 3 weeks in season long. I'm 0-2-1. So, yeah, we need that to shape up. I also need to make sure music is at the right level before we get too deep here. But shout out to the live chat already chilling. Salamo707 says, so glad you're doing baseball today. Yeah, so Wednesday, it was a little family day. You know, I don't get to hang with the family a lot, so hang with the family. Yesterday, I was here ready to go live normal time. And then I realized DraftKings was starting their slate an hour early, which was going to create a really awkward time frame for me. So, like, it's kind of on me for maybe not looking the night before. I just assumed it would be a 6 p.m. slate. And then that would only have given me, like, an hour to not because usually these streams go 2 hours. I don't like to go opposite other, mainstream channels, especially Awesomos. So I was like, dang. There's no way I'm covering this slate in an hour. So I ended up just doing VIP yesterday. But today we're here, and it's actually a smaller slate than we're accustomed to on Friday. Usually it's all 15 teams on the main slate, Coors and Chaos. Well, we still got Coors, but maybe a little less Chaos. So, yeah, sorry it was the last 2 days. But also yesterday, it's a good thing we didn't have it anyway, because I was having rolling blackouts. The power went off like 3 or 4 times. The internet kept dropping. And the electric company warned me about this in an email a couple weeks ago, requesting that people participate in power conservation because 100 degrees out here in summertime. The kids are at home cranking the AC, so it probably would have been a technical difficulty stream anyway. So the world has a way of making it happen. Universe be universing, right? What up? Everyone hates Chris. What up, Sergio? What up, ACP? Who played Michael Perez yesterday? Oh my god, dude! There's a couple. It's been a lot of double dongs lately. It feels like, but I guess that's just baseball because I'm sure I say that every year. But yesterday, every time I looked up, someone had 2 today, right? What up, Chester? What up, Mighty Saint? Chat, how's the music levels? The last stream, there was some early controversy. Let me sure I got all the right tabs. We got DraftKings ready. We got the spreadsheet ready. I actually pre-filled out the spreadsheet today. My stats were not pulling automatically. So I ran a little bit late trying to go live because I had to manually enter crap, but we're good. Fangraphs open, PrizePicks open. What else we need? Baseball Savant maybe, and then MLB, right? Who's it? All right, cool. And let's refresh here. Who did we say was gonna start for? Is it David Peterson? I wonder if so Bassett's obviously better than David Peterson, right? I think Peterson, first of all, is lefty-righty, and Peterson, I think, has some power problems. So, makes you wonder if the Rangers lineup comes out a little bit different, and if maybe there's some value on the PrizePicks board for the Mets. I mean, not the Mets, the Rangers. Unless they yanked it. They yanked it. Okay. Well, let's see. Texas. Yeah, they yanked everybody. All right. That would have been like a unique situation to go grab some lefty masters. And we'll see if they spit something out. That's different. All right. We'll start from the top, work our way down. Main slate. Actually, we need to open up a weather report, don't we? We've been blessed with weather lately. I guess that's the good thing about a heat wave and a drought. is we don't worry too much about baseball, right? All right, Boston and Chicago. I believe that's the game that's going on right now, right? Because I saw Duran homered. St. Louis at Philly. where do we start carrying? We start carrying at Atlanta, Cincinnati. No, that's on the early slate as well, right? Yep. All right, cool. So past Atlanta, Cincinnati. We'll put a link to this in chat. If you guys don't have this bookmarked, you probably should take a peek at it every day before you do your research. Mr. Kevin Roth. New York Yankees at the Cleveland Guardians. Batch of heavy rain is going to be wildly close to Cleveland. So it's a matter of a few miles will determine if they can play or not. I'm putting this at orange and we'll circle back. All right, cool. So we should do the same. Where's that game at? Let's go. Boom. Highlight it. Orange. Texas at the Mets, great hitting weather, low chance of rain, bet. Baltimore at Minnesota, great hitting weather. And then Coors, low coverage, quickly fading showers and storms, delays, and impossible, but not too likely. So that's like your copy-paste Coors report every slate. Cool. All right, so we got one major weather spot to keep an eye on for Cleveland. The other rain spots look like it's not on the main slate, so unless you are taking part in those games, I think we'll be all right, right? So let's start with this Brewers-Pirates game and keep it moving. All right, we got Corbin Burns on the bump taking on Roansy Contreras. We got a 4.5 run total for the Brewers and a 3.2 run total for the Pittsburgh Pirates after the Pirates did what they did yesterday. Corbin Burns coming in as one of the premier arms in all of baseball. If you pop open his game log, where we're looking at pitch counts here, 105, 108, 100, 113. So 100 plus bullets in his chamber. Last couple games, Toronto, St. Louis, the Mets, Phillies, all these teams are premier power teams with that win, right? So going against Pittsburgh, definitely a perceptual reprieve. However, this new blood Pirates team might be a little bit surprising, but nonetheless, we're gonna err in the side of fantastic talent in Corbin Burns. His 32% K rate, sub 1 whip, 2.81 expected ERA. In this Pirates projected lineup, we have just Ryan Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz with sub 20% K rates, and I feel like O'Neal Cruz's K rate might have room to come up. So there's going to be very, very little doubt in my mind that I'm going to get the copious amounts of Corbin Burns in PNC Park against this Pirates team. So let's start off our list here and put Burnsy. I'm going to tier 1 him right off the rip. I know I typically get conservative with these guys, but I'm going to go ahead and go tier 1 him. Roansy Contreras, his expected ERA pushing 5, 1.35 whip. That's not what you want. You do like the 12% swing and strike rate. That 23% K rate might have room to come up a little bit. Just kind of a unremarkable play here. Maybe this park helps him out. Maybe he has a positive game here. I'm going to wait till the Brewers lineup comes out. I would say that there is a chance that in the back end of 150 lineups, I get single-digit percent exposure to Contreras just because there's a little bit of strikeout stuff there. But if this lineup comes out half or more than half lefty, and we're looking at that 21% K rate to lefties, I won't like it. If it does, the seesaw teeters a little bit more towards righties, we could tap into a little bit better metrics, but the walk rate's still there, the command issues are there, so I'm not too enthralled. But 4.5 run total for the Brewers is not that much, and PNC Park also plays pitcher friendly. So I'm gonna hold off on adding Contreras to my list so far, but I do think if I'm trying to build out a diverse 150 lineup portfolio, there's a chance Contreras gets into the back end. His weakness so far, home run to righties, 1.3 home run per night to righties. All that has basically been on the road. However, guys like Andrew McCutchen, Willie Adames, a little bit of power left in those bats, and then guys like Yelich, Rowdy Tellez are obviously guys that can smack the ball over the fence. Leadoff Yelich has been an interesting development for the Brewers this season, but I also like Rowdy Tellez in a potential ribeye spot. But overall, I don't think we should project a lot of offense from this game, so I won't. What's up, Robert? Hope you're doing all right. Happy Friday. All right, let's move on to the next game. I need to order some Subway. I'm hungry. Royals at the Tigers. We got Brad Keller taking on Michael Pineda. We got a 4.3 run total for the Royals, 4.4 for the Tigers. So another game featuring unremarkable offenses, unremarkable pitches. It's the immovable object, unstoppable force, right? The most average game that ever did average, maybe Brad Keller, a 4.23 expected ERA, just a 15% K rate, 1.34 WHIP. The low strikeout percentage is something that doesn't make you feel good in DFS when we're strikeout hunting. So like I don't have a strong inclination to pitch him. The Tigers do strike out almost 1-4, but they have very little power. 101 team ISO on the season, 68 WRC plus against righties. This is just a team that needs to hit the bench press, right? 188 ISO for Javi Baez. That leads this team since the beginning of last year against righties. If you want to get to him taking a shot against a contact pitcher, go for it. But this feels like almost a complete wash. But at 5,700, if you're trying to build out 150 lineups at an SP2 spot, maybe Brad Keller gets into 10 plus fantasy points and goes from there. He is going to keep the ball on the ground, 50% ground ball rate to both lefties and righties. Going to keep the ball in the park for the most part. However, against lefties this year versus last year, his home run per nine has dramatically increased. But I do think there's room for regression on that number because his hard contact to lefties has gone down. And the only thing that's gone up is about 6% fly ball rate. So his home run to fly ball percentage might just be a little bit unlucky for his sake. Pineda on the bump for the Tigers. I think he's been hurt, right? He came back. I believe Pineda missed training camp because of a visa issue. Came back kind of plump, and then he got injured. So this is his first appearance since May 14th, right? Do we have any rehab starts? All I know is before he went down, he wasn't looking that great, and he was also looking pretty thick, if you know what I mean. Let's see if there's a rehab start. He likely doesn't have a ton of pitches to work with, I would assume. Game log. So 21st, 26th, 3.1, 3.2 innings, 2 strikeouts. So yeah, still pitching to contact. 1 homer in that last game, and the hits are up there. 1.5 WHIP essentially in his 2 starts in the minors. Now this is the Rail Riders, I believe. That's the Yankees farm team, so that's probably one of the best teams in the minors to go up against. But nonetheless, if you can't get by in the minor league level, it's gonna be a rough transition back to the majors. And since he's only gone 3 innings in both of those rehab starts, I can't really put a confident pitch count on him that's gonna be high. So no chance am I playing Michael Pineda today. There's a chance maybe I pick on him a little bit, at least cherry pick here. I feel like with these first 4 teams, I'm more inclined to nominate some 2-3 man stacks than onslaught 5-man stacks, and that's probably what we'll do here. In the cleanup spot for the Royals, after they trade away like Carlos Santana, we do see a couple new names. Vinny Pasquantino is in the cleanup spot for the Royals, so we probably need to do a little bit of homework on him just to kind of make it, decision on what to do with him, because he is really doggone cheap in a cleanup spot on the road against a bad pitcher, right? 2,200 on Fanduel, 2,400 on DK. So is there something worth going after here? He is a lefty, 24 years old. This year in the minors, he had a 948 OPS, 280 average allowed, 18 homers, and 250 at-bats. So respectable, especially at that price point. And then let's look at his splits against righties. I want to see if we can get that OPS to a 1 dot against righties since he's a lefty. We do in the minors, a 1 dot OPS with a 295 average against righties and 25 strikeouts and 166 at bat. So I think that's going to come out to like a sub 18% K rate in my head. 24 walks, that's really good in that split. And then we have 12 homers and 166 at bats, so we like that as well. So I really think he's a super solid play. So that's standing out to me, especially as a road player here. So let's put V Pasquantino as a value play on both sites. This will help us pinch a few pennies. I mean, giving up first base is a strong ask here, but Pineda, 261 homer per 9. two lefties this season. Last year, 1.5. Obviously, 20 innings of sample size this year. There's room for regression, but he did not look sharp at all. So it's a really strong spot for this Pasquantino fella to get involved. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it's also setting up well for Andrew Benintendi. And then why not throw in some Bobby Witt, some Whit Merrifield around him. But I do like the thought of Pasquantino there. All right, let's look at a couple of props for this game. What can we get on KC? Is Pasquantino even on the board? No, we just have Brad Keller. Oh wait, what am I looking at? I'm looking at live. Oh, I'm dumb. Maybe the Rangers didn't get adjusted. Text. No, they're not on the board. All right, KC. You can get Brad Keller at 6.5 outs. That's pretty intriguing for his ground ball rate, right? 6 innings, I think, is not that crazy of an outcome. 3.2 against Oakland, that's wild. 7, 6, 6. For the Tigers being as weak as they are, 18 outs is, I think, a realistic range of outcome. And then if we're gonna get that at 15 or 16.5, so that's 5 1/3, right? 14, 12, 5. Yeah. That's a maybe. That would be like not super confident, but the Tigers suck. So I'll work on my list over here. Over 16.5 outs. That's a maybe. Just some leans to get us started with. And then the other one was maybe Pasquantino's not on the board. All right, cool. Just thought we'd look. Music is popping. Like you just like it, or is it loud? I'm a boomer. All right, cool. So no Pineda at all. I'm not gonna play Brad Keller for DFS, but I might take a shot on his outs for prop betting. And that's all I got to say about that. And that's it. We did get a Pirates lineup, so we'll back up just a second. Get that punched in because we have a tier 1 pitcher at stake. Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds, Bly Madris, Daniel Vogelbach, Josh Van Meter is batting 5th. O'Neal Cruz, Jack Sawinski, Michael Perez, and Tucupita Marcano over Hoyt Park, which is nothing. It's basically a lateral, right? That's a lot of lefties. They're gonna come at Corbin Burns with one righty and all lefties and switchies, but that's fine. Corbin Burns actually strikes lefties out at a higher clip so far this season, 34%, and he keeps the ball on the ground. So I wouldn't overthink the platoon matchup here, but good God, is that a lot of lefties? And then if the game stayed close, and hey, the spread is pretty close, Josh Hader should absolutely come in at any point and destroy. Yeah. All right, cool. My baby girl was born yesterday. Let's go. Let's get this baby swag money. Well, congrats, RC, man. That's awesome. What's her name? Did you give her like a funky sports related name, or is it you let the old lady do it? Michael Perez versus Burns. No, I mean, there's no Pirate that I'm gonna feel confident playing. If you guys are just like, oh, this guy hit 3 homers, like when Isaac Paredes hit 3 against the Yankees and then hit 1 the next day. If you just think he's locked in and seeing stuff, hey man, that's a gut call for you. But I can't do it. But hey, 3 bombs is 3 bombs, right? But past that, I mean, he literally hit half of his homers on the season yesterday, and he's batting 169. So I just can't. I can't do it. Some days you wake up, you're locked in, man. He was locked in. Good for him. Let's move on to. Hey, let's go to the Yankee game. I get to talk some Yankees for a second. The Yankees one-game series, right? I guess one game isn't a series, so I don't know. It's weird. One game against the Astros, 2-1. Yeah, that Yankees and Astros in the postseason is going to just absolutely be must-watch TV. We do have a confirmed Guardians lineup. Make sure we got it. Richie Palacios is batting in the 7th spot. Luke Miley, Miles Straw, And then we got Savali on the bump taking on Garrett Cole. So if you guys came in late, remember Mr. Roth has this as basically our only main slate weather game to watch. So if you have some interest in this game, make sure if you're taking notes, asterisk weather. It could clear up, it could miss, and if it did, surely we'd all have some interest in Garrett Cole. His 38% strikeout rate to lefties against what's probably going to be at least half lefties in this. No, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lefties. So 5 lefties out of 9. And then, of course, he's just been pretty pristine overall. 2.91 expected ERA and a 32% K rate. Now, him versus Burns without weather, Burns probably wins that strength of schedule battle there. So obviously the meter tilts in his direction. Now you add the weather and you think about the fact the Guardians, while only 3 guys, maybe 4 hit with a little bit of power, they don't strike out quite as much as the Pirates do. Just a 17% K rate on the season against righties. So everything in the check boxes is in the interest of Corbin Burns here if you're trying to 1v1. So if you're looking for one pitcher to roster for cash and you're torn between Cole and Burns, it really feels like between weather, between matchup, Burns is the guy to go to. But in tournaments, as long as this weather opens up for us, surely we're going to get to some Garrett Cole in mass entry, multi-entry. So yeah, if you want to pick on Garrett Cole, I don't think that's a crazy thing to target. A 1.3 plus home run per 9 in the last 2 years against lefties. Josh Naylor, Jose Ramirez, those two are perennial Yankee killers. It's annoying. Stephen Kwan in that leadoff spot, little pesky guy with a 5% K rate, might annoy Garrett Cole, steal some pitches off the bump. And then we've seen in the last couple of games that Stephen Kwan, if he gets on, hey, he could steal a bag or two, maybe get in scoring position for a guy like Jose Ramirez. He had a stolen base a couple games back, and then against KC. So I think in that leadoff spot, they're showing that he can run, and teams will play extra aggressive against the Yankees, just because it takes a little bit more to beat them, right? Savali on the bump for the Guardians. He's 6K. He has a 21% overall K rate, a 1.6 whip, almost a 5 expected ERA. It's not a lot to like here or to have hope for in tournaments in terms of upside. I do think at 6K, we've seen some weird pitchers, especially guys with like 19, 20% K rates, have spiked strikeout games against the Yankees. And from the eye test, it's not that the Yankees are swinging at everything, it's that they're not swinging at everything, and pitchers are getting a lot of called strikes. I think who was it? I think was it Paul Blackburn? I was watching in Yankee Stadium. My man had like 7 Ks and only Jose Trevino had a swinging strikeout. So maybe Savali at 6K could play a surprise role at a SP2 spot. Think about the Yankees in their last 2 days. They had to go from the Bronx to Houston and then right back on the plane to Cleveland. And now there could be some weather. So there's a range of outcome where 6K SP2 Savali could get you 10 plus fantasy points. So if you wanted to try that, go for it. I obviously have a little bias that might prevent me from it. Generally speaking, I don't want Savali in this spot, but you never know. Yankees have a 5.2 implied run total, so if the rain does open up, we'll always stack the Yankees. Savali also has a high average allowed and a power problem to righties, and this power problem has continued for 3 years now, sustaining a 1.6 or better home run per 9 to righties. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Josh Donaldson, so on and so forth. You might see one of these guys be a candidate for rest. Judge, he doesn't like to rest, but I think Booney will pick his spots here, so especially if there's a rain game involved. Trevino, I'm more than confident saying that he's going to be the caddy for Garrett Cole as long as Garrett Cole's pitching. And yeah, so we'll get to some Yankee stacks. Just remember the weather. And then I never full stack Guardians. I always sub stack them. So J-Ram, Naylor, guys like that. So I'll probably have a 3-man stacks that involve the Guardians, maybe 2-mans. Yeah, I know. Let's get caught up on chat. You see the Miles Bridges situation? Yeah, man. What's even crazier is I was in my Discord earlier, and like 2 years ago, Miles Bridges like condemned what he did. Not him specifically, but talking about, man, we have to treat our queens better, blah, blah, blah. And then he does that. I don't know. I just got nothing for a dude that would do that. I don't know if there's more to the situation. You know, sometimes the girl has to do it and it's a toxic two-way, but I'm just raised different, right? We don't put our hands on females if we can help it. And it's, I don't know, Miles Bridges just seems like a peak athlete that he could probably help it, you know? Her name is Riley. No correlation to Austin or Green, but best believe they'll be in my lineup. Let's go, Riley. Steph Curry's daughter's name is Riley, ain't it? That's cool. Aaron Judge's strike zone has been ridiculous. It is so bad. It is so bad. I heard, was it yesterday or the day before? I heard Manfred expects robot strike zones or electronic strike zones in 2024. So 2 years away. And like, I don't know. I like to romanticize. Like, we all, whether we admit it or not, we're sitting on that couch drinking our Dr. Peppers or Bangs or whatever. That's not a strike. We're like arguing and yelling at the TV is like part of the game. So like you lose some of that like romanticism. But when you have a team that's a true contender, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, if I'm being honest. But I guess it's gonna happen. What are we gonna? We can't do. We can't stop it. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Mets hosting the Rangers. So this game got a little bit of a makeover in the last hour. Chris Bassett was scheduled, penciled to start all day, and then he was just thrown onto the IL. So I don't know what was going on there, that he went from a starter to the injured list. I don't know if he tripped down the stairs or something, but yeah, Rangers are throwing out Marcus Semien, so I'm sure they had to switch up their projected lineup as well. But this is actually a confirmed lineup now. Semien, Seager, Odalis Garcia, Jonah Heim, Cole Calhoun, Mitch Garver, Daniel Lowe, Leody Taveras, and Josh H. Smith. All right. So Josh Smith is a pretty common name. So we are going to need to make sure. What if I just put Josh H. Smith? I doubt that's going to populate in this. No. All right, so we're going to have to just manually know what this guy is. I'm going to focus on his lefty splits. We don't have any sample. All right. Parents, can we come up with more creative names? Can we do this? We as a people. If you plan on having a Major League Baseball player in the family, I need better names here. Left-handed pitcher Josh Smith. This isn't him. They have more than one Josh Smith in their own system. Josh H. Joshua Smith? Guys, I am... What is it? How do I find this guy? FGDC. FG Minor League. Baseball. Oh no, that's just a... Alright, I'm gonna assume that the 9-hole prospect Ranger is fadeable, unlike the Pascantino guy. But I'm also like not sure. I don't know. Anyway, that's our confirmed Rangers lineup. Let's get the confirmed Mets lineup punched in. Oh, Bassett's on the Rona IL. Okay, that makes more sense. So I didn't see that it was on the on that. I just saw IL. Nimmo, Starling Marte, Lindor, Pete Alonso, McNeil, Canna, Guillorme, Eduardo Escobar, James McCann. As projected, we got 4 runs for the Rangers, 5.2 for the Mets. Rangers against lefties, 117 WRC plus. So in contrast to what they were, they had a 91 WRC plus to righties, which was Chris Bassett, and Chris Bassett's good. And then they gain like 30 WRC plus points. So maybe there's a sneaky over opportunity for those of you that sports bet. If you can still get them at 4, I would have. I don't know. I figured that would have been off the board. PrizePicks yanked a lot of the offense off the board, but let's see, text. Yeah, we still don't have any offense unless they have a different hitter fantasy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just Starling Marte. Yeah, they pulled him off the board. But I'm still looking at a 4 implied run total here, which I think might be a little low based on the Rangers' heroics against the Mets, or excuse me, against lefties. And it looks like we do have some wind blowing out to right center, which is a boost for the lefty pull hitters. So maybe lefty magic here. David Peterson has a 2+ homer per 9 to lefties this season, 1+ since the beginning of last season. And he's also not a high command guy, a double-digit overall walk percentage this year, and that does bleed back into last year a little bit. So definitely a big boost there. So let's go ahead and add the Rangers to the stack list here. And Semien, I mean, it's 1 through 6. I would probably get copious amounts of in those stacks. It's not going to be like a double-digit % stack, but I do like the opportunity here. I hate that they're so expensive. Like, why would Semien, Seager, Adolis Garcia be almost $6K versus freaking Chris Bassett? But they were. I'm sure that's going to be more expensive than Coors, which will in turn keep their ownership down. And then the Mets against Glenn Otto. Otto, a 295 average allowed this season. Last year, 265. That's both those are against righties. And then this year he's been better against lefties, but the xFIP at over 5 and last year's average allowed being as high as it was. I feel like there's some room for regression there with a 16% walk rate. So we'll also get to some Mets stacks here. And the Rangers bullpen has been above average, so we're just kind of betting on talent. But we need to start filling out our lineup portfolio. So I'm going to get lower amounts of Mets and Rangers. They're going to be in the blender. But yeah, I do think they are a team that I could pull 4 or 5 away from. And the same with the Rangers. I love the Rangers this year. These ISO numbers are a lot higher than the field ever gives them credit for. We've got 5 guys in this lineup with a 200+ ISO against lefties since the beginning of last year. So I do love that. Peterson. Did he lose a day of rest, or is this one of those weird scheduled blurbs? He pitched on the 26th, so I believe that's 5 days. He went 7 innings, 100+ pitches, and back-to-back starts for him. Strikeout per inning or greater than a strikeout per inning. 2 walks in his last 2 games, but no walks against the Marlins. That's impressive. And he has a 11% swing strike rate, 22.7% K rate. There's not like a ton of strikeouts in the top end of this Rangers lineup, but Garver, Lowe, Taveras, Garcia can strike out. So I don't know that we'd be getting to a strikeout prop on him, and there's not one listed yet. I don't think I'm going to dabble too much with either pitcher. D-backs at the Rockies, Coors Field on the slate. We don't have a Rockies lineup yet. Rockies are implied for 6 runs, D-backs 5.8. So typical Coors run totals, and unfortunately for the DraftKings, typical Coors pricing, really for both sites, not to single one out, but these D-backs prices are really, really low outside of Ketel Marte on DK. $2,900 for Ketel Marte on Fanduel. Come on, bro. What are we doing? That's annoying. Just so like this song is. All right. So we're going to have to add Ketel Marte to the value pool, because this is way too low. I'm sure that's going to inflate his ownership, but that's too low for him. Merrill Kelly, 1.3 whip on the season, 3.64 expected ERA. He's been pretty solid. 39% ground ball rate to lefties this season. Could be better, could be worse. 24% line drive rate. pretty elevated for this park, and a 10% walk rate, which is something that is not normal for him. This is almost double what he did last year and triple what he did the year before against lefties, and then against righties, a 250 plus average allowed to righties the last couple of years. He has dropped his home run rate to righties down dramatically. Was at over 1.5 aggregate the last 2 seasons, but this season just 0.5. But nothing's really changed in his batted ball data. 35% hard contact to righties this year. It was at 36% last year. Still at 40% ground ball rate. The fly ball rate is a little bit lower, not much, and the line drive rate went up a little bit. So I don't know if it's luck, happenstance, or what that the home run per nine is so low, but it definitely seems like there's some room for some regression on that. And then on the road this season, a 15% K rate, so you put him in Coors Field, and maybe you want to attack that, and his walk rate spikes up as well. So really no interest in either pitcher. Definitely not playing Senzatella. Not playing Merrill Kelly today. We're going to get to both offenses just to kind of make it quick on that analysis. We're going to go Rockies over the D-backs in our rankings, and then we'll throw the D-backs in there. But too cheap on both sides, and on both sides. Rockies lineup is not out yet, but everyone's in play. The D-backs lineup, I will say, this confirmed lineup, as far as hit for average, Walker, Varsho, Buddy Kennedy, Carson Kelly, Geraldo Perdomo. I mean, they're not hitting for a lot of average, and then if you take Walker out of the bunch, they're not hitting for a lot of power, and their OPSs are pretty low. So I could understand maybe wanting to combat the field a little bit by just cherry picking guys that we do think are good. Maybe Alec Thomas, Ketel Marte, and the Christian Walker's power is worth having. Same with Varsho, but a third of this lineup is really, really, really bad. At least so far. Maybe Buddy Kennedy is going to get better, but so far, not great. So I just think the Rockies are the better team, but we're still waiting on their confirmed lineup. But it's Coors. So is it rain in the Colorado-Arizona game? So this blurb right here, I'll refresh it, but I don't know how to explain science and weather, but Coors almost always has a rain threat because of where they're at and what happens. So anytime you see low coverage, quickly fading showers, like that's every freaking day. They have random pop-up showers all the time. So I don't think we're worried about that game. It's really just the Cleveland game to keep an eye on. By the way, Rock did kind of mention great hitting weather in the Mets, and I talked about how the wind's blowing out to right field. So I'm there. I like it. I'm there. First step to make a change is to cause a problem. Dude, what? How did that happen? I took a sip of Bang, and when I put the cup down or the can down, it just splashed out. Let's see. I just got tagged in Discord. What's going on? Rudy Gobert got traded to the Timberwolves. That's interesting. I saw what Brian Windhurst said, though. He mentioned that the Ainge situation looked a lot like to trade Royce O'Neal away with the Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns going to be a power forward. I guess. Dude, that defense was... Oh, wait. The Jazz get Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley. Wait a minute. They traded Beverley? Beverley did all that talk and got that, 3-year contract, whatever? That's crazy. Kessler, Vanderbilt, and multiple first-round picks. Jeez. Sorry, chat. I don't want to get distracted, but we still watch basketball, right? All right. Orioles at the Twins. Spencer Watkins taking on Joe Ryan. Orioles a 3.8 run total, really low. Twins 5.9. I will be invested in both offenses. I know the Orioles are sub 4, but that's really low. I mean, that is really low. 80 plus degrees. I know Joe Ryan's pretty good, and don't get me wrong, we're going to have plenty of Joe Ryan exposure tonight, but this Orioles team has really been scrappy. Mullins, Santander, Trey Mancini, Rushman, Austin Hayes. Like, I didn't think they're better than the 3.8 run total is giving them credit for. So both these teams definitely gonna make the list. And then of course with Spencer Watkins on the bump, the Twins are gonna make the list. So both these stacks very much so in play with the Twins. You always want to make sure Buxton is in the lineup. The other day we saw Buxton and Correa not in the lineup, but Buxton feels like he's not consistently in the lineup. And outside of Buxton, this is a sub 5K stack on DraftKings. And Orioles stack is always going to be pretty easy to get to, and maybe they're a good pairing to the Corbin Burns lineups. Will absolutely not be playing Spencer Watkins. Watkins, a 2+ homer per night to righties in the last 2 years. Just really, really, really bad. This is a dream spot for Buxton. He has a 4.7 rating on the bomb detector. That's nuts. And then Correa's also at 4.2. Polanco's on the mix. So yeah, I'm going to be heavily enthralled with the Twins and their potential against this team. And then what do we got on PrizePicks? Do we have a home run triangle that will give us Buxton, Correa, but maybe Buxton, Correa, Gary? Could be a fun one. Buxton, Correa, Polanco. That's cool too, because they're back to back in the projected lineup. They all have 4+ ratings in the bomb detector, so I do kind of like that. We'll do a light nomination, Twins home run triangle, and then we'll do probably also Buxton fantasy, Minnesota. Buxton's at 8.5 fantasy. Yeah, I'll take a shot at that. Byron Buxton over 8.5 FPS. Really, all the Twins in the triangle are eligible to be over for fantasy as well. Correa. They didn't put Polanco, or they don't have Polanco yet. But I'm fine with Carlos Correa. I'll add him to the short list. Carlos Correa over 8 FPS. All right, and then pitching for the Twins, Joe Ryan. Ryan has a 1.12 whip, a 3.59 expected ERA, and a 21% K rate. So with his 10% swing and strike rate, I think the K rate could go up, and it's mainly the lefties that are hurting his strikeout percentage so far this season. Just a 15% K rate to lefties, with a 61% fly ball rate to lefties, a 1.38 homer per 9, and the Orioles can come out lefty heavy. Mullins, Santander, Rushman, Rugi, Arise. I think Rugi and Arise are not as scary as Mullins and a Santander and a Rushman, but they still profile as lefties that maybe could dip into that 5.78 xFIP. So I just really feel like the Orioles should not be a 3.8 run total. I think they're way better than that. So I'm stacking the Orioles. I get to a little Joe Ryan, but if we look at ownership projections later and he's too owned, like the Joe Kirby situation, then I'll back out. But we'll put him as a tier 3 for now, because we really haven't been diversifying, or not diversifying. We haven't really been adding pitchers, because I feel like we haven't had strong pitching outside of Corbin Burns yet. So yeah, Gobert, Russell, Towns, and lineup is pretty legit. That is pretty legit. We can play 2 centers at the same time. I think Cat could play the 4. Like, he's basically a stretch 5, and let's be honest, if you were watching those games when Cat was out there, he was always at the 3-point line, and Naz Reid or Vanderbilt were in the paint. So he was basically playing power forward. So I don't think it's that crazy. All right. Astros hosting the Angels. So that's actually that's an AL West matchup. Lorenzen taking on Javier. Lorenzen is somebody I have very little interest in. He has a $1.25 whip, 3.76 expected ERA, 18% K rate. He is more successful against righties than lefties. Lefties a 5.5 xFIP and a 14% K rate. In my head, I'm thinking Kyle Tucker. Tucker has a 3.96 rating in the bomb detector. Alvarez is in the projected lineup, but I thought, man, he got literally carted off the other day. Is he good? He never got put on the IL. Oh, it's just a head injury with Jeremy Pena. So I guess if he doesn't have a concussion, he'd be there. If Alvarez is clean, then this is a dream spot for him. If not, then we got to be careful with it. But Alvarez, Tucker, if they're both in the lineup, look really, really good here against Michael Lorenzen. And then back in Lorenzen is a bullpen with a 116 home run per 9 plus. So 16 points above league average or below, however you want to look at that. So good spot for the Astros. The Angels, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and Jared Walsh, and I guess you put in Taylor Ward. That 1 through 4 is always like the problem, but once you get past them, we're free falling off of a cliff. And even when you include them, we have an incredible strikeout opportunity. Rengifo is the only guy with a sub 20% K rate against righties since the beginning of last year in his projected lineup. And Christian Javier, a 32% K rate on the season and a almost 40% K rate to righties this year, 25% K rate to lefties, the 4.5 xFIP to lefties. A little bit alarming, especially considering Ohtani, Walsh, Rengifo, Marsh, Velasquez, Wade, all technically lefties, but Velasquez and Tyler Wade, I'm a little less concerned about. So we're going to get to some Javier. He's coming off just an incredible game against the Yankees. He just has the strikeout tournament ceiling that it's worth chasing. 13 strikeouts against the Yankees. So I do think this lineup presents a lot of strikeouts. What's his strikeout prop at? There is 7 strikeouts. All right, they're juicing that. I think that I think he can get it, but I don't want to. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. So let's add Javier to the pitcher list. I do think there's a chance that if our pitching pool ends up being too shallow, that I just take a shot on Javier as a tier 2. But I'm hoping to add some more pitching. But right now it's rough out here. But we do like Javier. We do like the Astros stack. So let's add the Astros stack as well. And then I guess we'll add the Angels just because they're too talented. And they might be, positively leveraged versus what might turn into more Javier ownership if the Garrett Cole rain situation gets a little too murky, and people just won't be here. And the fact that Coors is on the slate and Trout and Ohtani are probably the 2 most expensive bats still, right? No, Judge went to 6.4, but Ohtani and Trout, 2 of the top 3. So, yeah, maybe the price alone keeps their ownership down. So we'll get to an Angel stack in all facets. 2-man, 3-man, and 4-man is justifiable. 5-man is probably pushing it, but yeah. Astros stack for sure too. Keep an eye on Pena on top of Alvarez, What up, Andrew? Orioles had a winning month for the first time in years. Orioles are going to be a problem. And those of you that don't watch the minors, they have Grayson Rodriguez, who's going to be a pitching monster. And they also have, is it Gunnar Hendrickson? Gunnar Hendrickson, I think is his name. Gunnar Henderson. What the heck is Gunnar Henderson? He's pretty solid as well. So they have been tanking long enough to put together some pieces. And then I also think, obviously, Brad is just going to be better. Jorge Lopez is give him a couple years. The Orioles' biggest problem is they play in the American League East. That hurts. But next year they are doing away with the extra games in division, I believe. And every team's going to face every team from now on. The Jazz are landing 4 first-round picks from Minnesota. So I wonder if Donovan Mitchell is next, because it definitely feels like a rebuild situation. Yeah, I know. Chat, in the description below, there's a link to a free Discord. It's the Gunbacker Gaming Discord. A lot of prop conversation happening here. If you are a member, a channel member, the $5 a month, meaning you hit that join button, you can link your Discord to your YouTube. It'll open up these channels. Myself, Josh, anytime that we go after prize picks or prop betting, we throw our favorite prop list in there. And then a lot of times I'll just post it in the free chat as well. But it tends to get lost because of how active the conversation is. But yeah, if you're not in there, you should definitely be in there. It's literally free to be in there. And then if you want to be in the voice chat with me, I'm in another Discord, the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. We have got a couple memberships up there, but the new one that dropped last week, it's the end of year pass, $300 with $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, so you can rebate that down to $200. That'll get all of baseball, the most of NFL until January 1st, and basketball as well. And then Josh is working on some summer league. I'll try and help collab with that a little bit. We might even be able to do some content here for that. I think that we have a tournament next week, or the week after. So yeah, look out for that. A lot of cool stuff happening. D-back's gonna completely bust. We have made it 1 hour without Sean V. I mean, D-back's busting in, like, that wouldn't be a shock, so whatever. 4 firsts for Gobert. That's wild. It's the Ainge. All right, Athletics and the Mariners. James Caprillion, former Yankee great, taking on Marco Gonzalez. Good God, his pitching rough. A 3.7 implied run total for the Athletics, 5 for the Mariners. Mariners definitely an intriguing option today. 108 WRC plus against righties. Julio Rodriguez is, as advertised, is already built up to a 5.9K price point on DraftKings, and even Eugenio Suarez over 5K. So they're getting some respect on their names. Jesse Winker's involved. Caprillion against lefties has been a struggle bus. A 1.7 plus homer per night since the beginning of last year against lefties. So Jesse Winker profiles pretty doggone well. Even Kyle Rowley's thrown out some homers lately. He's got a 4+ rating in the bomb detector, 200 ISO since the beginning of last year. So good spot for the Mariners. So we're going to add the Mariners stack to our little stack list here. And then the Athletics. This is a weird spot because I always stack against Marco Gonzalez, but I never stack the Athletics because they're the Athletics and they suck. This entire team is below average against lefties outside of Nick Allen. And Nick Allen, by the way, 2,200 on FanDuel, 2K on DK, 294 ISO, 845 OPS. So I think we need to put some context to those numbers because that feels pretty doggone high for a 2% barrel rate. So I guess let's go look at Nick's minor league numbers. And if he's good, we'll add him to the value list. But it does feel like, first of all, it takes like a long time to build a sample size against lefties at the major league level, and I just don't recognize his name enough to feel like we got a deep sample there. So against lefties in the minors, we've got 28 games, 52 at-bats this season, batting 346. We like that. 922 OPS. Yes, queen. One homer in, just one homer. So the slugging's at 462. So sub 500 slugging. We'll even elongate on that, go to last year. 50 at-bats, 440 average, 1.1 OPS with 2 bombs. So lower to the sample size, we get it. So if he's leading off, I mean, it makes sense for value, but yeah. Marco Gonzalez, I don't think I'm going to play him. People might play him against the Athletics. This is so awkward because I don't want to play the Athletics. I don't want to play Marco Gonzalez, but with the amount of suck involved, one side has to suck less. I don't know. Caprillion against righties, a 5+ xFIP as well. Was hoping to maybe lean on him and his strikeout rate to righties that we saw the last 2 years, but so far this season it hasn't really been there, and makes you wonder because the K percentages on the Mariners against righties, half of this lineup will give you a 30% aggregate strikeout rate, at least in this projected lineup, and only 3 of these guys bat above 220 since the beginning of last year. So like, you could paint a picture if you gave me last year's metrics for Caprillion, right? The 30% K rate, the 1.16 homer per 9. If you gave me those metrics against this projected lineup, like I don't think it's insane. But I don't think I want to get there at 5.5K today. Maybe if he gets 10+. This pitching is really rough. This might be a FanDuel night. I typically play FanDuel when I don't have a deep pool of pitching, and I figured 10-game slate, I'd be a little bit more deeper here, but I'm not. Pitching is rough. So give me the Mariners. I don't know, chat. You guys gonna mess with these Athletics? You're gonna mess with Marco? I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. 14, 15, 14. Like 14 is probably an acceptable number on this slate at the SP2 spot. It's just wild that might be a ceiling, and like you gotta sweat the man's ceiling, you know. But I guess if we're diversifying in mass field, all right, we'll go tier 3. We'll try and keep all these ugly clicks to like under 10%, you know. But I don't think I'm gonna add Caprillion just yet. I don't know. What up, Ayo? As a two-man stack, do you like Cal Raleigh and Julio along with some Mets? I definitely like Julio, like snap call, yes. Raleigh's probably not like, so like when I two-man stack people, I don't worry about correlation in lineup correlation in five-man stacks, meaning like on Labs or on Cruncher, there's a two-man, three-man gap option, like no more than 3. Like putting Julio and Cal Raleigh in this, like if they were batting where they're projected to bat right now, 1 and 6, they wouldn't touch, right? I do like to keep a little bit more correlated there. So like in this case, I would probably want Julio and Jesse Winker, where I'd get to like Julio, you know what I mean? I want them to at least touch to really buy into the correlation. But as far as just specifically those two players, I'm fine with it. I might be a little bit overzealous on Raleigh based on a recent burst and just the numbers here, because historically he doesn't bat really well against righties. Matter of fact, you know, getting the hit less than 17% of the time since the beginning of last year. He just has a little bit of pop, and we know Caprillion allows pop to lefties, so it's a little bit wishy-washy, but I get it. But Julio, yes, without a doubt. Matter of fact, I was going to look at a prop on him. What's a prop on Winker? Sometimes we get Winker at like 6 for no reason. We got him at 7. If he's batting second against Caprillion, it's a really strong spot for him. I might add him to the little list we got going on here. So when does he serve his suspension? Because I know they handed down, or some guy was starting his suspension either yesterday or today. 28-year-old still awaiting word on appeal of the suspension he received for ignition, blah, blah, blah. So I wonder if that ruling comes out today. I don't know. Keep an eye on that. Remember the Mariners and the Angels got involved in that nonsense. And there's a bunch of Mariners that are going to be suspended. If Winker was, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if that came out today and Winker wasn't in the lineup and we saw all this red with a 5.5K Caprillion be in the player pool in 150, not in 20, but in 150, just trying to squeeze out 10 plus. Oh, man, I think it might. We keep an eye on that. He did pitch against Seattle a couple starts back, 7 strikeouts, 17 fantasy points, 5.5K. Yeah, god dang it. We're gonna get a little loose in our tier 3 spot. A little bit. Yankees lineup just came out. Let's get that updated real quick. Like, chat, if you're out there lurking and vibing, you haven't hit that like button, it's okay. You forgot. Hit that for me real quick. And if you're not subscribed, I'm trying to get to 8K subscribers before NFL season. That would be great. LeMahieu, Judgy, Rizzo, Stanton, Donaldson, Glaber in the 6th spot. All right. Aaron Hicks, Jose Trevino, and 9-hole Isaiah Kiner Falefa. So, Joey Gallo, not in the lineup today. Rizzo and Donaldson, but Glaber and Mayhew. So, is Donaldson DHing? Let's see. Yankees. Also, chat, after this stream, or at the top of the hour, look out for the WNBA PrizePicks stream, because that's coming. And also, if you haven't checked out that stream, check out the intro. Our boy Underrated World made a custom song. DJ LeMahieu's DHing. That's interesting. Okay. All right, good little defense out there. I'm with it. DJ the half day. Let's go. All right, let's get back to... Are we on the Dodgers game? I think we are. What up, Obi? What up, Josh? Hope you guys doing all right. Padres, Blake Snell taking on Tony Gonsolin. Padres lineup not confirmed, but look out for Machado. He's 6.1K. Cronenworth 5 point. Dude, we had a lot of 5 to 6K guys, and it's not even an issue today because of how bad pitching is, but it's like kind of funny that in contrast to like Coors, like I don't know, back in my day. Dodgers have a 4.4 implied run total. Padres 3.3. Padres are not implied for very much. And Tony Gonsolin's been pretty stellar. A 1-4 K rate, 0.85 whip, 2.87 expected ERA, and he's been super efficient too. Just kind of the theme of his season. 94, 87, 86, 84 pitches, and I'm probably going to nominate him as a high floor tier 2, understanding that 30 fantasy points is not something I'm expecting, but floor means a lot more today because of how shallow the pool is. Blake Snell, 8,600 on DK, is a 22.6% K rate to righty so far this season, a 4.6 xFIP, and a extremely high walk rate. Over 10% the last 3 years against righties, and his command this year to lefties has been really rough. Matter of fact, an errant throw broke the thumb of Bryce Harper, so he's got some command issues to say the least. Now, sometimes you can bet walks on PrizePicks. Blake Snell's walk prop is at 2.5. That's how bad his command is. Usually the standard line is like 1.5, right? Sometimes 2, but getting him at straight up 2.5. They're basically implying him for 3 walks here. So if you're gonna have those type of command issues, the Dodgers, they'll make you pay for it. The more on base guys, the more ducks on the pond, the more likely a big hit by a Trey Turner, Will Smith, Chris Taylor, guys like that will happen. So we're gonna stack some Dodgers. We're gonna do that. And Blake Snell 8,600 still has a range of outcome for like 16, but what's his pitch count going to look like? Because he is just 94 against Philly. Walked away with 7. He was probably out there an inning too long. 10-7 ground ball to fly ball ratio with 4 strikeouts. I'm not that enthusiastic about it. I will concede that I do think 2x his price point is possible. So in mass multi-entry, like, it makes sense to get a little bit of them. Right now, I don't feel like adding them to the pool, but I think it's fine, I guess. There's a lot of righties in this lineup. Just in this projected lineup. Yeah, let's do it. Just to put some names in this thing, man. It's rough out here. But we are stacking Dodgers. Tony Gonsolin, I really don't have a reason to pick on him, but I guess if we were to point out a weakness, maybe we're calling for some regression against righties. A 4.21 xFIP with a 21% K rate. The results have been very much so in his favor. Sub 30% hard contact rate, 44% ground ball rate. The Padres are going to come out pretty lefty heavy. Machado, Alfaro, and yeah, it's a lot of lefties, and that's actually going to play to Gonsolin's strength. 20% K rate, 27% K rate to lefties, 3.45 xFIP. So I don't know, Gonsolin, what are you looking at? 5Ks, 34.5 fantasy points on a 91 pitch count, right? I guess it comes to, I guess the only bet I would want to flip a coin on is 6 innings or not. I don't want to flip that coin just yet. Oakland Laureano or Jesse Winker? Gun, who you like better? I like Jesse Winker better, but Laureano is certainly one of the names I would click against Marco. I think Laureano hit 2 bombs yesterday. if we're looking for hot streaks, right? Yeah, 2 homers yesterday. It's a winker snap call 1v1, but I don't think you're out of balance for looking at Laureano right now. I like his matchup. I want to play the Yankees, but I'm scared of the weather. I mean, hopefully we'll have information soon enough. I will say that is game 1, so they could easily just, book a doubleheader. And I don't think the Yankees would be that against a break, because I think they got a 20-day-in-a-row game streak or something like that coming, or in the middle of. And New York to Houston, next day to Cleveland. Yeah, I don't think they would say no to a postponement. But we should know. Last game on the docket, Lance Lynn taking on Alex Cobb. White Sox 3.5 implied run total. The Giants 4.2. Lance Lynn started to look a little bit better in that last start. Maybe kept him out there a little too long, but we started to see a little bit of strikeouts coming back. He went 6.2 innings, 8 Ks, so developing his pitch count, got to 109 pitches, and developing his strikeouts. They came back on him. 5 earnings there. Like I said, I think La Russa left him out there too long. That's on La Russa. But let's look at some of the metrics to justify what we were seeing at first versus net, because his rehab assignments, they didn't look great. And then when he came into the majors, his first game was rough. So I just want to make sure that we can feel confident in the adjustments or the development. So his 10%, then 13%, then 21% swing and strike rate. And then we'll also look at his pitch velocity. Slightly creeping up. Went from 92.2 average miles per hour on the fastball velocity. Got it to just about 93. So that was turning in the right direction. And he was able to... The slider actually went down a little bit, but the slider's still fine. He's mainly a fastball guy and doesn't throw much else, but it's a matter of how good his fastball is. And he's been this way his whole career, and obviously he's been very successful. XFIP under 4, and the XFIP has progressively gotten better and better. So has the Sierra. And I guess we should go to Baseball Savant. Lance Lynn. What up, Brian? What up, Baldy? Gun, did the Wolves get fleeced? I don't think so. I think it's a good... First of all, I don't know. I mean, I think of the T-Wolves as a little underrated defensively. I think their fast-paced play style... Anytime a team is like a league leader in pace, obviously going to allow more points per game because of how many extra possessions there are. But I also think Patrick Beverley was a part of that defense. So, every day I will take Gobert over Patrick Beverley, like without thinking. And then you can kind of normalize that lineup a little bit more. I think Cat at the 4 is what he wants. I think Rudy Gobert as your anchor in the interior, and Rudy Gobert with some guys that will use him. I think all 3 of Cat, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell can use Gobert and pass it to him more than Donovan Mitchell. And I've always wondered this year, I think you guys have known that Donovan Mitchell did never pass the ball to Rudy. It was like he averaged less than 2 passes per game to Rudy. I just wonder if Rudy Gobert's better offensively than we think he is, right? He's so gosh dang tall. He'll dunk on everybody. So I do think there's some value in that. I think a team like the Timberwolves got so close, right? That series with the Grizzlies was so good. Cat had a bad game. I just think you have a good interior defender. I don't know. I like it. I don't know if they got fleeced. I just think they put their chips on the table to make a move, thinking that their window is there. And I think D-Russ, Edwards, Cat, and Gobert is a really doggone good lineup to throw out there. Fastball for Lance Lynn. Let's see. Do we get, we do get StatCast, right? Yeah. It's live for MLB. Yeah, Shane, it is. I promise you, I've been talking a lot of baseball. I just answered a question. We all love sports, though. You know. I don't want to get, I don't like to get too off track. I want to look game by game on the fastball usage and then the fastball spin rate. But I'm not sure that I'm going to. That's gone. Yeah, no, it's fine. We're saying we're on the last game anyway, so like I've got time. Don't say no. You're fine, Shane. You feel free to ask baseball questions or basketball questions. All right, I'll have to come back later because I don't want to stall here. But I was basically looking to see if his spin rate had progressively increased throughout the 3 starts. Everything else is improving in the right direction. Anyway, Lance Lynn at 7,600 on DK. The one thing I am alarmed about is that his 7% carry to lefties is far down from the last couple years, but it's also going to be an extreme lack of sample size. And I think the Giants will be, over half lefties. So I think as how shallow this pitching pool is, I think I'll get to some tier 3 Lance Lynn. And then Alex Cobb on the bump for the Giants at home this year. 30% K rate, 0.68 home run per 9, 62% ground ball rate. A lot of stuff turning right way for him. And this White Sox team has been 11 points below league average against right-handed pitchers. So parlay that with the fact that it is a top pitcher's park. It's a good spot for Cobby. So I think I might even get crazy with Alex Cobb and put him as like a tier 2. And then I'll probably put Snell and like Lance Lynn together and just understand I'm not that enthralled with either. But I'm probably a little bit more interested in Lynn than Snell just because I think the Giants are a problem. Or excuse me, the Dodgers are a problem. And Lance Lynn, to his credit, he'll throw strikes. So he's never really had that problem. Low run totals though. Anyway, that's our slate. So we can go back, get some lineups punched in, and maybe hunt out a few more props. So yeah, if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, drop them. I'm gonna go back and see what lineups came out that I didn't already have punched in. See if anything changes our thoughts dramatically. I don't think it will. Brewers lineup: Yelly, Adames, Rowdy, Andrew McCutcheon, Colton Wong, Luis Arias, Omar Narvaez, Castanheira, Jonathan Davis. So a few more righties on the bottom of this lineup. That does kind of raise the floor for strikeouts for Contreras. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in this Brewers lineup with a 20% or better K rate against righties since the beginning of last year. And what was Contreras' strikeout prop? 5, maybe 4.5. I think I would lean that. Right, I think so. So we'll go Roansy, Contreras over 4.5 Ks. I think that line was just slightly different. Yeah. Also, I didn't do a drop, but you guys know the drill. If you want to sign up for PrizePicks or Underdog, and you're not already there, use the link in chat. Use code GUNDACKER. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. What up, Chuck? Says Peterson looks juicy. I think pitching looks great. Really? Okay. Burns, Javier, Cobb all look good. I would agree with that. Matter of fact, in my early pool, Burns, so I didn't put Javier as a tier 2 yet, but it's possible. I'm worried about his lefty splits, if I'm honest, but I want to see what that Angels lineup looks like. Did Ohtani have a day off yet from pitching against the White Sox? Sometimes he'd take the next day off, and since this is a travel day, or no, maybe, I guess yesterday was just a day off, right? Yeah. All right, maybe he'll be fine. But I'm with you on Burns and Cobb, and I'm there on Javier. I just don't know if I'm as high on him as you are, but I'm willing to get there because the Angels strike out so gosh dang much. Astros lineup out, no Alvarez, dang. Okay. All right, let's go back and get more lineups. Tigers didn't come out yet. Remember, we're watching weather for Yankees, Guardians, Rangers, and Mets. We already had D-backs and Rockies. Rockies lineup came out. That's important. Connor Joe, Charlie Blackmon, Chris Bryant, CJ Crone, Brendan Rodgers, Ryan McMahon, Jose, I Can Be Your Hero Baby, Iglesias, Randall Grichuk, and hello, I am Elias Diaz in the 9th spot. So only one difference from the projected. Orioles lineup not out yet. All right, what did we just say dropped? The Astros lineup? Let me open the RunDFS.com MLB VIP Discord. Jazz gathered 6 first-round picks the past 24 hours. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I guess they're keeping Donovan Mitchell. All right, let's look at. Oh, we do have an Orioles lineup too. I need Labs to hurry up. I'll just copy it from this though. All right, I'm interested in the Orioles, so that's not insignificant. Mullins, Austin Hayes batting 2nd, Santander, Brian Montcastle, Adley Rushman, Rugi, Ryan McKenna. McKenna's a righty, right? Jonathan Arise and Jorge Mateo. All right, cool. I do like that lineup. We are missing out on Trey Mancini though, but it's fine. It's fine. Astros, Altuve, Pena, Kyle Tucker's batting 3rd. What? I like that. Kyle Tucker batting 3rd. That's good for yes run first inning or first inning over 1.5 hits, right? If we can get Trout, Ohtani, Ward, Altuve, Tucker, those guys, 1.5 hits, I think there's a good shot. Although Javier is good enough that I want to bank on him giving up a hit here, but you know what I mean. Bregman's batting cleanup. Yuli Gurriel, JJ Matievich, Jake Myers. Oh yeah, this lineup is starting to plummet. Chaz McCormick, Martin Maldonado. So Altuve, Tucker, Bregman, and I guess Pena. I guess 1 through 5 is playable. Gurriel hasn't been as strong this year as the batting champion, but still very playable. But the main guys are all in a row here, so it makes the stack a little bit easier, and maybe we don't have to give up too much equity to stack them and get the combos we want. But I like it. I like it a lot. All right, cool. All right, let's go sort the bomb detector. Is there any juice on this JJ guy for Houston? Yeah, let's go look him up. I know he homered off of Garrett Cole, right? Which was annoying. Bomb detector with sample size. Byron Buxton at the tippy top. 4.7. That's insane. Trace Thompson's up there, but just on 30 at-bats. Mike Trout, yup, he does that. Gary, Judgy, Ohtani, Correa. No, different names, right? No, Cal Rowley's up here. Ryan Jeffers, Lamont Wade. All right. What's up, Brandon? Missed you the past couple days. Let's get this money. Yeah, Brandon. Sorry, those of you guys that were here at the top. Yesterday, I intended to stream. I was dealing with rolling blackouts, which kept messing up my internet modem. But in Texas, when it gets hot during the summertime and all the kids are at home blasting the AC, power just randomly goes out. And it's always out for a second, 5 seconds, stuff like that. But it's enough to screw with all the electronics, right? And my internet was choppy. And then DraftKings started early, which meant that Osmo or Stochastic was going to be on earlier. And I didn't want to overlap. So we pulled the plug on that, and the day before was just a family day. So I appreciate you guys not freaking out on me, though. Yeah. What was I about to do? Pulled up the bomb detector. Oh, ACP was asking about Matievich, right? So I think Matievich was just a call-up because of injury, but we'll go look at him just in case. All right, Astros have 800 incredible players out of nowhere, right? What up, Doug? Does your site give out ownership? I do not. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to start to try and create an algorithm to project ownership. So I don't. So basically what I do is I research the slate on my own, kind of create where my gut is driving me, and then I'll look at ownership. And I have a obviously stochastic access, and then the Fantasy Cruncher Pro will show ownership, so I just refer to that, but I do not provide ownership projections. All right, so Matejevich in the minors this year, batting .313 with a 1. OPS overall, pretty good. 12 homers and 150 at-bats, pretty good. 8 stolen bases, pretty good. And then if we want to split that specifically to righties, remember Lorenzen is really, really hittable. 292 average to righties, a 944. Yeah, this guy's a beast in the minors, actually. 9 homers against righties in 120 at-bats, 3 in 30 against lefties. So he's a little better against lefties, but he's been a beast in the minors overall. So, yeah, maybe we do leave him in there at 2K. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yes, there's juice on Matejevich. Did I hear this song last night at a strip club? What song is playing? What's the song before this one? Let me back up. This song? If it's this song, it's called Roses. And it's just like a royalty-free beat. We'll run it back, though. This one, right? I guess it's the vibe. Alright. Deep diving in pitching, and I think the slate is packed. All the top K teams are playing today. The 2 lefties are going against high K teams. Alright, Chuck, I'm going to follow your lead on Javier. I like Javier. I was just kind of like holding out for the Angels lineup. What I mean by follow your lead is I might upgrade him from a tier 3 to 2. Remember, we are kind of waiting on definitive weather news for Cleveland. And if the news comes out the wrong way, Garrett Cole becomes a little bit risky to unplayable. And then I just don't even think it's like a strong matchup for Cole anyway, but Cole is just Cole, right? What up, Tizzle? Beat is fire. Have y'all heard the WNBA song? It's pretty fire, not gonna lie. It's gonna be at the beginning of the WNBA show, but our boy Underrated made a custom hip-hop song, custom lyrics. Definitely check it out. If you go like the last couple of WNBA streams at the beginning, it does have the F word in it a lot of times. So maybe earmuff the kids, but it's pretty cool. Roses, yep, roses. I'm gonna add Matejevich to the value pool here. I don't even know if I spelt this name right there, but if not, oh well. I think we need more props. Where are we at? 3:30? We got time. We do. There's a couple of early games, so I'm kind of liking the Contreras prop. 8 strikeouts for Burns. I think he does it, but I don't want to bet that in a parlay setting. Cole at 7. I'd almost be intrigued in the under, just with the rain and that matchup. Savali at 4. I'd be somewhat interested in the over, just because the Yankees are giving away strikeouts lately. Otto's at 3. That's a low enough number I wouldn't hate. Alex Cobb's at 4. That feels low. Am I tripping? Why are these numbers so low? See, Alex Cobb against righties, and the White Sox will come out pretty righty heavy more than likely. A 27.5% K rate? Why is Alex Cobb only at 4? Pitch count? 80? So he went from 60 to 80 in his 2 starts back. Could be up to 95? Chat, help me out here. Am I missing something? Did they say there's no way he's going more than 80? Even at 80, he got 4 against Cincy. I'm gonna nominate Cobby at over 4. Over 4 Ks. Cool. First inning runs allowed. I think the Astros can score off a Lorenzen quick. And the Coors has a... I mean, we just take Coors because it's Coors, but the Coors is at half a run. You almost never see them on the board. Four and a half for Cobb seems low. Yo, Josh, I'm looking at 4 on PrizePicks. Wait, 94. Okay. Joey Chestnut, 7.5 hot dogs per minute on PrizePicks. Is that really on here? Because I would believe it. It is. Good God. We have a problem as a society. Jesus sakes. Oh my God. Alright, chat. I need you guys to stay tuned for the hot dog eating show. We're gonna break down a lot of game film of how Joey Chestnut be gobbling them glizzies. Oh my gosh. Michelle Lesko, 3.15 hot dogs per minute. Bruh. Chat, how many hot dogs per minute do you think you could eat? Like with the bun? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I'd be gagging. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to baseball for a second, but that's ridiculous. 2? You think you can get to 2? 2 in a minute? I think so. I could probably do 2 or 3, but I wouldn't like it. Hey, yeah, I don't like hot dogs either. The meat's usually like, eh. Fangraphs Cobb projected for 4.58 Ks. I mean, I don't know why it's so low though. You know what I mean? So if the line came out different, sure. But let's just do some process of elimination. First of all, it's Oracle. Oracle plays 5 points above league average in strikeouts as a park, and we all know it's a pitcher's park. Secondly, in this projected lineup, there's only 3 lefties. And Cobb strikes out lefties 1 and 4. Then he strikes out righties at almost 28%. I guess you can make the case that the White Sox only strike out 20% aggregate, but 20% is, I mean, if you get through 6 innings, you probably still get 5 strikeouts. I just feels like 4 is low. But even 4.58 is above the 4, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning over there. 90 pitches, 6 Ks. I like that, dog. That feels like where I would be at. Dips in water. Dude, that's so gross. Ugh. Ugh. God dang it. How's Michael Pineda still in the league? Talk about league being thin on pitching. Well, Michael Pineda's not thin on... Anyway. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. I'm uncomfortable. Sandy can get 2. I have to... Would I get copyrighted here? Let me look at game film. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I was gonna like pull up. What is even the process? Chestnut eating hot dog. We're gonna watch game film and time it. I don't want to. Okay, it's an ESPN. I don't want to get copyrighted, but I'm like tempted to look. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that, bro. There's no. That looks so freaking nasty. Twins lineup came out. Let's get that. All right, we're looking for Buxton. Buxton has the highest bomb rating ever in the model. He is batting second, so we do get Arise, Buxton, Correa. We like he. Jorge Polanco's batting 5th, by the way, so it does spread out the lineup, but was expecting him to bat a little bit higher. Jose Miranda's in the lineup. Alex Kirilloff. No Gary Sanchez. Kirilloff. But yeah, this 4.7, whenever you see like a 4.7 in the bomb detector, that usually means like the pitcher has 5 innings or the batter has like This is actually like some sample behind it, so look out for Buxton. I know, crazy call there, Gundacker. Is Pineda starting for Detroit? Yeah, Josh, I got him as a starter. His last 2 rehab starts, he went less than 4 innings. He went 3 in like a third or something. And in both of those starts, he had less than a strikeout per inning. And then, yeah. Do it. You got. We don't care. Competitive hot dog. I mean, I wouldn't get all the video would get demonetized at worst, so it's whatever. It says throwback. Let's watch the form. They're dipping it in water. That's just not even, I guess, the way I'm thinking of. That's so freaking nasty, bro. What a waste. Bruh, the bread is like so soggy. I can't. Bro, my man is, no, that's not even. Yeah, Joey Chestnut's different, bro. I think he's like a skinny dude. Like, how is he doing this? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Alright, back to prop shopping. I'm gonna try and get you guys out of here in 10-15 minutes. So if you guys still have questions about the slate, please throw them at me. First hit, 1.5 first run hits allowed, right? So I'm a little bit interested in the Astros with Kyle Tucker batting third, and then you take a shot on Ohtani or Trout getting a hit there. So I think that's justifiable, and that's really all I want. Maybe the Royals and Tigers, but I'm more so picking on Pineda, so I'd probably just rather target one of those guys. Merrill Kelly, Gonsolin. Gonsolin's a coin flip for 6 innings. Christian Javier at 16.5 is low because I think Javier just showed us propensity to throw 100+ pitches. Now that also might have been because he was throwing a no-hitter. So maybe 90 to 100 is a little bit more reasonable, but at least we know that's possible. 5, 6, 7. Has he pitched against the Angels yet? 2 games, averaging 11 fantasy points and 5 points. Oh, he must have either got shelled or was out of the pen. Let's see, LA, 3.2 innings. Yeah, okay. No, he wasn't stretched out yet. That's what it was. Yeah, he wasn't stretched out yet. Now he's fully stretched out. Maybe the outs is a little too low for him if we didn't want to sweat his strikeouts. 16.5, because I think there's a shot for 18, depending on this lineup. Christian Javier, but they got him for 7 Ks, right? Let me see strikeouts. Javier. Yeah, they got him for 7 Ks, but 15.5 outs. Like that's pretty wild. Not sure if you covered it Miami yet, but any thoughts on Bertie? So I definitely did not, but that's not on the main slate, right? Yeah, that's unless Fanduel added that for no reason. No, it's not on the main slate. So I didn't cover that game, but I can give you the grade that would be in the spreadsheet, but that's not on the main slate. So basically, if I put Josiah Gray here and I put John Bertie, first of all, leading off is a good spot. No Jazz Chisholm in that lineup. He gets a 3.19 rating in the bomb detector. He doesn't project extremely well, but he is a leadoff guy, so maximum at bats. Remember watching a video of that Kobayashi dude training for his hot dog eating contest? Pretty disturbing. It just, competitive eating really sounds dangerous. Easier swallowed than dry bread. It is, but ugh. Like, I'm just gagging thinking about it, bro. I don't know how I don't lock Javier and Burns on FanDuel. Burns, yes. Javier, yeah. How many pitchers would you use for 20 max on DK? Which ones do you like the best? Probably 4 or 5 for 20, but I'd have a big stake in like 1 or 2 of them. And today would be Burns and probably. Man, I like Cobb more than I should. Javier, I'm definitely fine with. So if I had to pick 4 or 5 pitches for 20 lineups, it would be Burns, Cobb, Javier. Based on weather, I'd probably want a little bit of Garrett Cole, but I don't have the warm and fuzzies on that spot or matchup. Did Garrett Cole even go to Houston? I feel like there's a chance he did not. I don't remember seeing him yesterday. It would be weird for him to take 2 plane trips. So he might have been waiting in Cleveland. And then Gonsolin against the Padres is probably something I would sprinkle in there. Back to a couple props. So we were at pitching outs. I think Brad Keller over 16.5 is in play. I had already jotted that down from earlier. Lorenzen, I don't love his spot. Lance Lynn pushing him for 6 innings against the Giants is rough, but knowing that his pitch count is up and that Tony La Russa is a crazy man, maybe. Total home run triangles here. So the Twins gave us Buxton, Correa, and Polanco. I think I already wrote that down. I did. What do we get for the Astros? I was hoping we would have Yordan Alvarez, but I like Kyle Tucker a lot. Bat in third. So maybe we'll go get Kyle Tucker fantasy. At 7. Yeah, we'll take a shot at that. And he'll also try and steal home. And I was watching yesterday, and when he drew a walk, Astros fans were like, of course he did. That's Kyle Tucker. So now I had to check out his walk rate. 1 walk, 2 walks. All right, a little bit. Love the spot for him, though. And then versus the bomb detector. I'm not going to get Trout. Let's resort the bomb ratings. Correa fantasy, I already had him, yeah. Brandon Bell, Trey Turner lead off against Blake Snell, who has command issues. He might steal, and I believe Blake Snell is one of the easier lefties to steal on too. So at 9 fantasy points, that's like what he was at Coors. So that's probably a little too rich for my blood, but I'm fine with it as a stolen base power threat. Jesse Winker, if he's batting second and not suspended, I like him, but look out for that news. So I'll take a shot at him at 7 fantasy points. 7 FPS. So and guess what? The volume on the music is lit today. All right, cool. So that... I wish it gave me a number, like a digital number of what the level is. I don't know what happened the other day, but apparently the other day... We created chaos. I think I'm happy with this list that we got. I'm tempted to throw some Orioles exposure. Did we get an Orioles triangle for home runs? I don't know. I just got a feeling the Orioles are... Mancini's in it, so we can't take it anyway. I don't... those are, like, not the 3 guys I would be sweating. I would want, like, Rushman. Rushman's starting to find his big league swing, too. All right, I'm pretty happy with this list so far. So we'll wait on some lineups to come out. Let's get this posted in the free Discord for those of you guys that want to mix and match early. Looks like the wait, this is the paid Discord. We'll get that in there too, right? And then Gundacker Gaming, MLB, put that in here. And then for those of you guys that are in the paid membership channel, put that in there. Bam. If you guys want to be in that free Discord, link to that's in the description below. It's free. Free 99. Get in there. Anything else, chat? We did get a Tigers lineup, so we can double check on that. That might make us feel better about the Brad Keller out prop. Let's see, Tigers. Oh, wait, are they leading off with Riley Green against Mr. Keller? They are. Willie Castro, Javi Baez, Miggy, Harold Castro, Grossman, Torkelson, Scope, Barnhart. That's an intriguing lineup, I would say. What up, AJ? If I missed it, what does the Bassett scratch do to that game? I had heavy Bassett exposure. So it does a lot. First of all, Bassett is better than Peterson. Secondly, I'll put the aesthetics for you. Where's the Mets game at? Was that the top game? The Brewers. No, not the Brewers. Mets. Here it is. The Rangers. Their WRC plus as a team this season against righties is just 91. But as a team against lefties, it goes to 117. So we're talking like a 30-point swing. So it dramatically is a boost for their team as an offense. And then this lineup against lefties, Semien, Adolis Garcia, Corey Seager, Mitch Garver, like they have a lot of guys that already have a high WRC plus. The barrel rates are overall pretty high. And then the ISOs, there's 5 guys in this lineup with a 200 plus ISO against lefties since the beginning of last year. I will say Peterson has played a little bit more reverse splits this year, but I do think there's room for regression of this 0.23 home run per 92 to righties, because the batted ball data is pretty similar to last year, and last year he was holding a 161. And on top of that, it's good hitting weather in Citi Field. The temp in Citi Field is 84 degrees. New York, that's kind of up there, and wind's blowing out to right center field, so good for those lefty pull hitters. But even the righties can go oppo, or even just, the wind's going to help no matter what. So I do think it makes that game more offense friendly, without saying. But with that said, the Rangers were already priced up 5-3, 5-8, 5-8 on DK. So it's not like, oh snap, we got this 3K team that's free because they're going against Bassett, and now they're not. So yeah, I think it's a big hit for him. Bill Miller's 1.22 called K rate is in the Astros game. Chuck is really pushing the Javier. I'm with it. So their righties in play as a dart throw, and Peterson is out. Yes. Yeah. I don't think it's crazy to get some Peterson exposure either, though. It's one of those scumdacker spots, but it's definitely a perceptual boost for the Rangers. Yeah, no. Tigers. I forgot to type that up. Riley Green, Willie Castro. So, Chad, I don't think we're gonna do a stream tomorrow for baseball. On this channel. I know Saturday, I think I'm on the Stochastic channel. I've been thinking about one of the still doing early streams on the weekend anyway, especially since I had a little bit of a break the last 2 days. But it's also good to just recharge, man. Sometimes overworking. But I've also kind of thought about doing a prepackaged not podcast, kind of like a podcast, like this stream, but more condensed and edited down instead of live streams. But I'm on the fence, because when I put up a poll on the YouTube channel, the majority of the subscribers want something like that instead of the live stream, because it's hard to find 2 hours in the middle of the day. But this is also a vibe too, so I don't know. I'll be wrestling with myself there on what to do. Alright, that's all that. Hard to pivot from Bassett in that price range. That's my problem. Yeah, Javier's there, and then if Garrett Cole doesn't have weather that we can roster him, that Garrett Cole ownership's got to go somewhere, and Javier seems like the guy, unless we just put that much more onto Corbin Burns. My pitching list was, I'm gonna go tier 1 on Burns, Cole, Gonsolin, and Cobb. DraftKings in mind. I got him as 2s. I'm willing to promote Javier to a tier 2 as well, and Chuck's kind of boosting him up for me, and I think the ceiling is definitely in that lineup. So let's do it. Let's just for Chuck. Chuck, if this fails, it's on you, bro. And then that'll balance out the tier 3s. And tier 3s today, I don't want to be over invested in any of these guys. And I'll also say, from a sports betting slant, I think the Baltimore Orioles are getting disrespected with a under 4. I guess now in most books they're at 4, but 4 seems kind of light for Joe Ryan's 5 expected ERA, 1.35 WHIP. So, wait, no, that's not the right one. I'm stupid. For Joe Ryan's 3.59 expected ERA, 4.27 Sierra, and his strikeout rate to lefties has really, really diminished. High fly ball rate to both sides of the plate. Just feels like the Orioles are better than they're getting credit for. Where was his girlfriend? Oh, Shayna. We kind of broke up. Sorry about that. It's okay though. It's okay. All right, cool. So hey, right after this, in a little bit, couple minutes, we're gonna have a WNBA stream. Josh is gonna be on that. I think Eric's with him. I'm not sure. And then yeah. So if you guys want to check that out, stick around and get some of your props for WNBA. Make sure you're in that free Discord. And then if you're not signed up for Run DFS, you've been waiting for a special. There is a special right now. Was posted last week, $300 the rest of the year with $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. So rebate that down to $200. That's so good, so valuable. I love it. I think it's a good price point. It's okay, Cena. It's okay. And that's gonna do it, man. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them. I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.